Trading on my phone and live trading are two of the most heavily requested things that you guys ask for. And I wanted to be able to give this to you. The recording stuff is kind of crazy. I am re-recording a ton of content for you guys right now, and because of that, doing live trading isn't really a possibility. And the best I can do is just like record my trades for you, and I will voice over them. On this particular day, it's June 2nd, this day that I'm trading. It's US 30. I was actually already on my computer and on my dual monitor whole setup that I have doing content stuff for you guys. So I had no choice but to trade from my phone. And since I am a funded trader, like you have a minimum amount of days you have to trade and things like that. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to actually show you guys like an authentic day of me truly trading on my phone and how I would do it. So this is a very simple thing that I did here with this. It's like, I guess it's a strategy. I wouldn't even call it that. It was literally just divergence and figuring out when and when not to take the divergence. So if you're going to be trading divergence, you need to have your divergence one and also some sort of second indicator or confluence or confirmation to show why you are going to be taking that. You can't just say, oh, there's divergence, because there's always divergence, and you will have a lot of losing trades. But when you spot divergence and you have another confirmation telling you that you can take that trade, then you can take it as long as you're doing proper risk management. So this is what I'm going to show you in here. I will warn you ahead of time, this is a long ass video. You guys want to see these like long trades play out. You want to see every candle like form and not form, and I get it. It's kind of simulating a live market, and I guess it's better than me chopping and cutting all of these videos up and just kind of checking in with you. But I mean, golly, you got some free time in your hands if you can watch an hour-long video of just candles forming. I envy you. But if you're like me and you're like, sis, I ain't got that kind of time, you can look below. I will put timestamps for you. Probably roughly like the first like 10-15 minutes is just me talking about how I marked up my chart and placing the trades, and then you can timestamp it up and go to the end to just see how it played out if you want to do that. But if you got that time and you want to watch it all play out, God bless you, because you know it ain't my thing. But let's get started. So we're on US 30 on the 1 hour chart. What you'll see here, these little red lines, is just me marking up. I was toggling through my times. I came to the 1 hour and I saw divergence and I was very interested. So this is me just kind of marking up my support and resistance zones. So that is what I'm doing here. That's what you'll see. I'm just kind of marking a high here and looking around in here. I saw the divergence on the 1 hour chart, and then you will see what I will do is I will go up a time frame. So you will see me go up to the 4 hour chart. I'm popping up to the 4 hour chart because I want to make sure that my support and resistance zones are still pretty solid. And here you might see I might tweak them a little bit, but I want to make sure that what I picked is like makes sense. So I'm looking at this as my stop loss area and potentially this as my take profit area. You can see I'm just adjusting. There is a little wick here that I was like, include the wick, don't include the wick, who knows. So I was just kind of in my head feeling it out. Do I want to go that crazy with my stop loss or not? What you can see here is where the market is, and this would have been my stop loss, and you can see I am adjusting my take profit area. Definitely would have been well over like, I don't know, 1 to maybe 2 or 3 at least, and then that's just kind of what you can see I'm judging in my head, like how crazy do I want to go with my take profit. Since this is a 1 hour chart that I'm spotting the divergence on, I am expecting this to be a longer trade at the time that I'm taking this. I will put in a little spoiler alert that I end up spotting divergence on a 5-minute as I'm working my time frames down. And what I end up doing is actually just using the 5-minute trade because I didn't want to sit around all day long in divergence, in a 1 hour divergence trade. So I end up using the 5-minute time frame and just getting out because, like I tell you guys all the time, please don't be greedy. take your money and go. And that's what I did because I had things to do the rest of that day and I didn't want to be managing a trade overnight and all into today, which is June 3rd now. But so here's what I'm showing you. So the 1 hour, I paused this just so I can like walk you guys through it. The 1 hour time frame is where I saw the divergence. I mark up my zones and I go to the 4 hour. I kind of tweak it to make sure it makes sense. Then I drop to the 15 because I want to get my sniper entry if possible. So that's what I'm doing here on the 15. I'm looking at what is it doing. I have a trend line here that I can see where the market is shooting up. And I see a candle here that is giving me a nice rejection off of that. So I am looking for a sell. You'll see I will take 2 sells here. These are 0.25 lot sizes. You guys know I stack my trades, so I took 2 of them here. I will take 2 of them if I'm not sure if I love the trade, and then I will enter in another 2 for a total of 4 trades running once I decided that I am good on this trade. And you will see how I do that in a moment. The reason I like this 15 and was good to get in is although I don't have actual divergence necessarily happening, what I do have is 3 hits on my this bar that I drew here. Ooh, we'll go back to in a second. I have a little bar that I kind of drew there just to kind of show you guys. I'm having 3 hits on my stochastic oscillator and showing that it's just kind of hitting, the price is hitting. And to me, that was okay because I had such a bullish market that although it's not actual divergence, it's showing you that it is actually still probably going to drop soon. So I had the divergence already confirmed on the 1 hour, so I was okay with it on the 15, and it was rejecting nicely off of this trend line I had drawn, and also over to the left when we go over back to the chart, you can look over to the left and see that there is a area of support and resistance that it was also hitting on, and I was pretty confident it was rejecting off of that price along with my trend line, and I had the divergence. All reasons as to why I liked this trade. So you can see I'm just kind of checking in here. I took those trades. That was me just entering in my take profits and stop loss areas. And I'm waiting for myself to zoom out here so I can show you guys where I'm talking about where it was rejecting. Just showing you what it's doing. And here we go. This is the area that we were in that I was saying I saw. It was price was kind of coming up there, but then looked like it was hitting some resistance. And you can see that by the candle here. This area here. So this is like a whole little zone here. It's kind of trying to push up out of there, and it's clearly failing to do that. So I'm waiting for it to reject down. And just showing you guys what it's doing. And this is me just saying, okay, I'm waiting to see if I want to take 2 more trades for a total of 1 lot size. What I like to do is be slightly in profit with my first 2 prior to taking the next 2. So that way, if it reverses on me and I do end up having to hit my stop loss, I could potentially close out my 2 in profit quicker and still at least be okay and not have 4 losing trades. It's just something I do as far as my own personal risk management. You guys do not need to understand that part of this. Just know that I am trading the divergence on this. I am now down here pointing to you guys basics of trading. So go back to your super basics. This is actually a lot simpler than people try and make it out to be. I'm showing you here that even like the stochastics and your RSIs or all that stuff down here, they will make W's and M's. So you can see we have a W, you have the second leg of that W, and we're going into an M. And I'm assuming we're about to drop and make the second leg of the M now. That's what I'm pointing at, and I just kind of drew out on there, showing you I think we're dropping. And then we are now going to go to the 15 and just kind of eyeing things up, seeing what it looks like, showing you that like this whole area here is where I figured it was gonna, the price was at, it was trying to push against and rejecting on. that's just an update on what it's doing, what my trades look like. I'm still just waiting for this candle that I entered on to close out and to make a little bit of a push down to be enough in profit to be able to enter in my next two. I am waiting for one of two things to happen to enter in my next two. I need another confirmation, which would be like that candle closing, or I wanted to see divergence happening on a smaller time frame. So you'll see here, I would either want to have a bearish engulfing candle, which would be pretty insane on this, but it would have qualified for me to enter into my next two, but I would have wanted it to be a bearish engulfing candle, or I want to see divergence on a lower time frame telling me that I'm good to enter in still. So you will see I will drop down to a 5 minute, and when I drop to the 5 minute, I will show you why I entered into the next two. I didn't have a bearish engulfing candle in the 5 minute. I had a 3 candle strike. If you don't know what a 3 candle strike is, definitely look into it. 3 candle strikes are a candle pattern that you can use to help decide if you are having a little bit of a reversal or like a pullback situation happening. If you don't know about it, I'm not going to teach you about it on this video. Artie, my lovely editor, will put it somewhere in this video, I'm assuming. I don't know, put it like in this area up here, Artie. And you guys can end up watching that once it's linked up there, and see if you can see what I'm talking about on the 5 minute when we get to that chart. So still just messing around with the 15 minute, looking at things. I'm just watching. At this point, I'm just seeing where I want my take profit 1 and 2 to be potentially, and that's all I'm literally doing right now. I'm deciding in my head if I want to do a mid zone or not, and this is stuff that I do, guys. Also deciding if I have enough profit to do this. So you will see. At this point, I did flip over to my monitor because I wanted to see on the 5 minute what was happening. So I had on my little monitor that I have that connects to my phone. It's not on here, I'm sorry. But that was the 5 minute chart, and I will show it to you in a second what I saw and why I'm entering these two. But I entered these two first. Forgot to show you guys the 5 minute. Sorry. So enter there, and then the next one I'm just waiting. I like to try and get obviously as many couple little points extra as I can, so I just wait to see if it'll retrace up a little bit and then enter in another one. And here's your 5 minutes. So here's why what I had saw on my side monitor that you guys didn't see, but I was like, oh, I gotta show you guys, is my 3 candle strike. So, and you also have divergence. So I had seen this and said, oh, I'm very happy about this situation. So market's going up, your stochastic oscillator RSI situation is going down. That is divergence. And you can see that I have my 3 candles. So I have a 3 candle strike, and that was where I said, okay, I'm taking 2 more trades. So now I have a total of 4 trades running. And at this point, I'm just going to, you'll see me, I'm just going to be managing them. I'm just going to be looking into them. I did enter these with the thought process that I was going to be trading the divergence off of the 1 hour time frame. However, like I said, my day was busy. I was doing things, and I didn't need to, but I wanted to. Let's be fair. I wanted to just be like done with trading for the day. So after I take this 4th trade here, I end up like just kind of marking up the 5 minute chart for a take profit 1 and a take profit 2. And I kind of left it open to maybe I'll like hold them longer, or we'll just see what the market does. So I turned the idea that it was going to be a much longer hold into like a shorter trade, because I just wasn't sure if I wanted to hold all night long into potentially the next day, when I could probably just scalp it off the 5 minute. So this is what you'll see me doing, and then you'll see I will just put in different take profits and all that stuff. I can never remember my numbers when I'm trading on my phone. I don't know if you guys are like me and just like have sticky notes everywhere, because I can never remember my numbers when I'm typing in my take profits and stop loss areas. I literally have Post-its everywhere with just like random numbers written on them. So when I'm trading just on my phone, you'll see I just like go back and forth a bunch because I just like can't remember the numbers. So I'm sorry, don't overthink it, guys. I just like can't remember some of these numbers. And that's all I'm doing here. And yeah, you'll see I probably mess it up like once or twice. Like it always happens. I'm like, that's not right. Okay, so that's just me managing the 4 trades that I do have, placing my stop losses and take profits. As far as my stop losses go, all 4 of them were at the initial stop loss that I did have drawn here. And my take profits were here, where I initially had them aiming for. And then you will see I kind of go in and just kind of looking around, making some decisions on what I want to do and don't want to do. And I'm marking up another zone here to have like a take profit 1 for my first 2 trades. And then my second 2 trades would be my initial take profit that I had looked at. So that's all I'm doing here. Like I said, when I stack my trades, I like to do it this way. So this way, when my take profit 1 hits, I am guaranteed profit for at least 2 of them. And then at that point, I will then move my stop loss that I have probably way up here to slightly in profit for the other 2 trades. You do see me do that, but I just want to make sure you guys understand that's how I would manage all 4 of them. Now I'm just changing those 2 to be at the new take profit that I want. So that would be my take profit 1, and then the initial 2 are still set for take profit 2. Stop loss stays the same. All right, so I think at this point, there's really not too much else going on that's exciting. If you want to watch it play out, have at it. I mean, yeah, just like go crazy in here watching this all play out. If you want to skip ahead, you can skip ahead to the timestamps listed below, and I will put them all below so you can see how it plays out. But I don't change anything as far as my numbers go. So if you want to skip all the way to the end, you can. If you want to skip in between, I'll put up like time shots of just like what the market's looking like, I guess. Like when I will glance to my chart to look at my profits every so often. So I guess I'll screenshot that and put that in here. And you guys can kind of just look at those. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I didn't change anything. My take profit 1 gets hit. And then my you'll see me kind of reevaluating things. Then my take profit 2 will get hit. So you want to go to the end and look, awesome. If you are done totally with this and you said, okay, whatever, I get it, you traded divergence, also awesome. If you want to watch the whole thing play out, have at it. Like I said, live your best life watching it. But that's it, guys. Like, it was really that simple. I just spotted divergence on the 1 hour, and I could have just stayed with that 1 hour. If you looked at it today, it would have worked out well. The market did melt overnight. So if I had just stayed in that 1 hour, I would have hit it like, you know, the market just totally I don't even know. It really fell. So it would have more than hit my take profit that I had set initially on the 1 hour. But if you are like me and you're kind of like not sure and you're seeing divergence on multiple time frames, you can always just use your smaller time frame if you didn't want to hold it like for that long. And that's what happened with me here. Once I saw it on the 5 minute, I kind of decided I was committing to the 5 minute time frame. So you do see initially how I mark it up for in the 1 hour, but I do kind of decide like I'm going with the 5 minute now because I just wanted to go on with my life. And you can see, even so, this was about an hour long trade of me like scalping it. So you guys have that option to do, or you could always do what I did and just kind of go through all of your time frames and see what you have. And you could have gotten in honestly on the 5 minute for this like sniper entry and held it all the way through to the 1 hour divergence where it just like dropped, and you would just be trailing your trade all along. All right, so timestamp time for those of you who are interested. Timestamp it up. Okay, so really quick, just gonna jump back in and like update you on what's happening right now in the trade. As far as the trade goes, you're about to see a little quick screenshot of where it's at. That is how it's looking as far as profits go, and my stop loss is still in the same place it was when I started the trades. Just so you guys like know, if you did use one of the timestamps to kind of jump forward. You can see it's about to hit my first take profit area there, and the two trades are going to be closed out. I will show you that in a second, so you can see that they fall off of there you go. They fell off. They go into, went into my account. And now the rest of this that you will see in this video is just me kind of managing how this trade plays out and works. I still keep my stop loss, or sorry, my take profit where it's at, my second one, and I will move. You will watch me in a second move my my stop loss to slightly in profit, so that way I'm securing those other two trades that are still left running. So at this point, I now have made money off those two that hit my take profit one, and I will be completely risk-free and slightly in profit on the other two that are still running. So at this point, I'm completely risk-free and can only win money from this point on out. What you will see is kind of contemplating on zones and just kind of reevaluating this trade. If you continue to watch this all the way through, you are going to see me like hitting all kinds of stuff like a hot mess in a second. I was trying to clean up my chart since I hit my take profit one, and I don't like clutter on there, so I was trying to get rid of some of the like this stuff, the objects that were on there, and you're gonna see me struggle hard, like really hard. I don't normally struggle that hard, but like I said, I don't trade typically off my phone, and I definitely don't mark them up like this. I did this for you guys, so I was trying to delete them and like grab them on the screen, and anyhow, long story short, I have nails and it just like wasn't working well. So ignore all the hot mess of like objects and all kinds of things you're going to see popping up. That's just me trying to clean up my charts, and that's it. So you can look at the timestamp if you want for the ending of this video, just to kind of see where the profits are. And that's all I did. Okay, so what you're seeing here now is me just looking over to the left here. My trade is getting so close to my take profit too, but I am a very quick markup person when I do my zones and all that, so I do like to go back and double check like where it is and what it's doing. And you can see to the left over here, lots of touches in this area. And although it does eventually hit the area where my take profit 2 was, I just wasn't trying to hold and be greedy. I was like, it's really pushing. I had already at this point made like almost $9,000 for the day. So I just was like, I'm done. Not going to risk it potentially going back up on me. I had gotten that beautiful drop, and that's all that mattered to me. But yeah, so that's why I got out, and you can see I was just kind of looking to the left to see what would happen. This was only like a maybe extra $500 or so move for me, so it wasn't that important for me to sit there and hold through it. You can see how it was just touching right around in here, and I wasn't sure if it would have that edit that okay, edit that, a little bit of a pullback that might have been happening here. And also what you'll see, I do believe I kind of point out that on my stochastic oscillator, there is for sure like an undersold area that's pretty low here, and it's not that I always count on that by any means. It can be very misleading, but it's just like an extra thing to look at as far as a confirmation as to why I'm thinking between this being here and sitting at a very heavy support area here, I was thinking it's probably time to just close my trade. I'm close enough to my take profit too. So that is why I manually went in and closed out my trades myself. It is not to say that you couldn't have left them running, but sometimes if I'm watching my trades the way I was with this one and I'm close enough, I will just go in and close them myself rather than risking potentially having the market go back. So that is it, guys. I will post here at the end of the video. I will insert a clip nowish showing you the 4 trades total so you can see them on there and what they were. And that is how I traded this. It was a very simple, free type of knowledge, just using your divergence and some sort of second confirmation as to why to get into that trade. And also, I will put on here, I know somebody will ask my settings. Please know that the alligator is on here. It is standard settings, and it's also the RSI and RSI oscillator that I use. All of those I will quickly put a screenshot here of as well. And I mean, you don't really need them on here, but I will keep them on here just so you guys have them. I like to use the moving averages sometimes as an area of support and resistance instead of marking up my charts, but you guys are free to use that as well if you want. But in case that's what you were waiting for, they are here now.